this video to fulfill the objective of SQL 2.5. So with this objective, my 3W scores, we have to take note here that my subscription has expired, so I'm not able to show you my progress. However, I have gone through the joins, and we're able to see from here that let me just run through a brief description of the full joint. The full joint returns all the rows when there is a match in either the left or the right table. So an exercise that I did on this one, I answered this one, and just to show what's happening, that is indeed the right answer to that question. You have to pardon me, I think my network is a little bit bad. Yeah, the network has given up on me. Yeah, but it appears to be loading in the background. So that's for a joint exercise I did. It's a question for the left joint exercise. Yeah, let's see if it has loaded. Oh, the network is a bit bad. The network is really giving up on me. Yeah, so I'll come back to the W3 scores to explain more. But however, for the resources, this is one of the resources that I found very handy in learning about the joints, left joint, and the full joint. That's one of the resources. And the second resource is W3 scores also. I learned quite a lot in W3 scores. And another resource I found handy is this resource on YouTube, where he has explained the joints very well and at length. Okay, so applying to demonstrate how I've used my knowledge of joints, the inner joint, left joint in SSMS. So I came here. So my primary database on my exercise has been the Adventure database. Yeah, so on the Adventure database, because it's got quite a number of tables that I could fiddle around with my exercise. So when I run this query, okay, so this is base. I want to show you that the elements of my person to person table, from the person to person table, and all the elements from the person to person form. Okay, so this is the outputs that we're able to get when I execute this query. You can see obviously my network is a little bit still sluggish because the execute here, as you can see, is not highlighted, but however these things are running. So when I run this query, this is inner join. Okay, so when I compose this query and run it, this is what I'm able to get when I run this inner joint. What's in the intersection? What is in the intersection between the my table, my first table, which is a person to person table, and the person to person phone table. And we're getting, if you look here, the rows that we're getting about 18,972 rows. We're able to get that because what we are using here, the business entity, is what is common in both tables. And when you look at that, you come down here on these tables, the two tables, you find something very interesting, because the business entity here is numbered from 1 to up to 2000. to the 2007 2077. So this is much the same with the person to person phone table here, which is also got quite a number, almost the same. So because this is the key, the common key that we're using, this is a common key that we're using. If you run this query of the intersection, you find that it is going to count nearly the same numbers, and hence we are getting these rows, this number of this number of this number of rows. And now, because this is a joint showing the intersection, and we're using a common key, which is a number which are common in both the person-to-person table and the person-to-phone number. Hence, we're getting a number like this. So to demonstrate that we're getting much the same thing, I come here and I run the same query, and we are running it in a full outer join, meaning when we run a full outer join, we mean we're getting all the elements from both. When we get it, we're running when we're running that, we're getting all the elements from both tables. And when we get except those that are common. So when we run a full outer join, meaning we're combining both elements from the person to person table and person to phone, the phone number, person to phone table, when we run it together, it's giving us the same number here. Okay. Why? Because of the key that we're using, business identity, which is common in uh, both the person to person and person to phone. This is my illustration of the intersection using my SQ, my SSS, my SSSMS. Thank you.